Victor Osimhen because he's being linked with a move to Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, the report's saying that Arsenal are ready to battle Chelsea for the signature of Victor Osimhen. Now, I don't think Arsenal get this guy. I can see why they'd be in for him because Arsenal don't have any strikers. Their striking options are shit. Gabriel Jesus is not a striker. He's more so a winger. You remember when he was at Man City and Aguero left and they didn't have a striker? Jesus was their only striker left and they still didn't play him up front. They switched their whole formation to run a false nine with Gundo and Phil Foden up top. Yeah, we didn't forget about that, okay? I don't understand how Arteta thought that he was the man to bring in when you need goal scoring. Eddie Nketiah is shit. This guy should be at Crystal Palace or in the Championship. That's his level. So Arsenal, they very much need a striker. Now, I don't know if it will be Osimhen because I think he will cost too much. I don't think Arsenal are going to want to pay that kind of money. But I know Chelsea will pay that bread for sure. That's one thing that I'm certain about is that Chelsea will not mind finding a way to get this deal done. I think Arsenal, they're going to drag it. They're going to want to maybe do all these payment plans and they might make it hard. You know, Arsenal, they like to drag out negotiations. I think Chelsea will go in there and they will get it done quickly. I think Arsenal will get Ivan Toney. But before I even talk about that, where it concerns Victor Osimhen, I think Arsenal are definitely the more attractive club. I think if I'm him, that's where I'd want to go. But I just don't know if they will spend that bread. Now, we all know that Chelsea are in shambles right now. They're shit. But one thing about that club is they will spend their way out of problems. And I think they have a £1 billion squad over there. They're struggling at the moment. And to me, a large part of that is because they can't finish their chances. Because I don't understand how you spend £1 billion on your squad and your striker is Nicholas Jackson. Make that make sense. Chelsea are going to be desperate. I can definitely see them because they do have to balance their books with FFP. But I see them selling a lot of players this summer, a lot of deadwood, and I think that they will find a way to get Victor Osimhen over the line. Now, as I said, Arsenal are much more attractive. They're kind of competing for the league. I don't think that they will win it, but they're in the conversation. They're in Champions League, and their future looks brighter than whatever the hell's going on at Chelsea. So if I'm Osimhen, Arsenal is where I'd prefer to go. You know, you get to play with Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, Declan Rice in midfield, Martin Odegaard, and I know Arsenal, they do need other things. Like, to me, a striker is not the missing piece. I think it's a huge piece that Arsenal need to actually start contending for all these big trophies. But I also believe Arsenal need a new left back. Arsenal need a new right back. I think Arsenal also need another center mid. And then once they cover all those four positions and bring in decent players, I think if you were to add a Victor Osimhen to this Arsenal squad, yeah, I believe that they'll be able to do some things. But I think if you add Osimhen at Arsenal right now, I think they're still going to be around the same place that they are now, second or third. So to me, I think spending a lot of money on a guy that you don't even know is going to come into the Prem and bag is a bit risky because if his transfer market value is 110 million, and if Chelsea are in for him, and if Arsenal are going to also enter the race for him, and then you don't know what other clubs in the Prem or what other clubs around Europe might also enter the race for him, you're going to have to spend a lot of money. Like, this is a deal that might have to cost you 150 million to get Victor Osimhen. Can you see Arsenal doing that? No. That's why I think they will go get Ivan Toney. And if I'm being honest, I'd rather have Ivan Toney than have this guy. Because Ivan Toney is Prem proven. We know he can bag goals here. So if you sign him, if you're Arsenal right away, you know that this is a guy that's going to be able to score you at least 20 goals a season. If he's able to do it at Brentford, why can't he do it at Arsenal? It'd make no sense. He'd get more service and he'd be playing with better players. I think Osimhen, he comes to the Prem, he's a good player. He's physical, he's very fast, and you've seen him be clinical in Serie A, but the Prem is a different beast. So that's going to be a very big gamble. And I know people, they think because a player has a fancy name, because he costs a lot of money, that just must mean he's going to be the next big thing. But don't always think that way, people. I'm telling you, there's been a lot of players that's come to the Prem and have flopped. To me, Ivan Toney would be the guy to sign if I'm Arsenal. I don't think he costs as much because he plays for Brentford. So it's not like they're a Champions League club. It's not like Napoli where they're actually trying to win the league. They're actually trying to go deep in Champions League. And they're not going to want to lose Victor Osimhen because he's a big player in that squad. Ivan Toney, yeah, he's a big player for Brentford, and he's important to them, But Brentford know that they're a selling club. Brentford know that if they have a very good player, the odds are other clubs are going to want to come in and buy him. I don't think Napoli actually realize that, because Napoli, they're a huge club. So negotiating with them is going to be hard. I think Ivan Toney, you're probably going to have to pay 70 to 80 million to sign him. Osimhen, with all the other clubs that might be in for him, you're going to have to be spending about 120, maybe 140 million. So, one guy is going to cost less, and you know he will bag in the Prem. Another guy is going to cost more, and you're not too sure if he'll be able to bag in the Prem. Who knows? But we will see. Let me know, though. Do you think Osimhen should go to Chelsea or Arsenal? If I'm him, I would pick Arsenal. But I just think Chelsea will faster spend that kind of bread. That's just me, though. Now,